guys clapped about them getting engaged in that baptism. But right before it happened, he told me, he was like, hey, after we get baptized, I'm going to ask her to marry me on stage. I said, Eric, that's a terrible idea. And I said, like, do you know she'll say yes? I think so. I said, I'm not going by think so, bro. So you guys were clapping the whole time. I was sweating bullets and me baptizing. Like, can you imagine that? You get up, feels so good when you marry me. No. So, glad for that. Anyone here know what FOMO is? FOMO? Okay. Anyone not know what FOMO is? Like, honey, I don't know what it is, but I don't want it. Whatever. Okay. FOMO just means fear of missing out. My wife is the queen of FOMO. I kid you not. She's back there. If you push her on it, she'll admit. If anything happening, she's like, how was it? Did you have fun? And so when our kids were like in 5th and 6th grade, little 4th grade, something like that, she had a like in-service day as a teacher, and they didn't have school till the following day. So she told me, she was like, that night in bed, she was like, why don't you take off work? Like, just call off. Go take them to GattiLand, and it'll just be a fun day. That way they won't be sitting at the house, and you got to be off anyways. You know, someone's got to watch them. Okay, so take them to GattiLand. Guys, I kid you not. She can say whatever she wants. I wish I'd saved those text messages. I'm getting a text message every 5 minutes. Are you having fun? Are they having fun? What are they doing now? And it was so hard on me because I wanted to be like, I don't know what they're doing. I haven't seen them in 30 minutes, right? I literally gave them both a card, and I was like, I was just mauling that buffet. Because, let's be honest, GattiLand pizza, might be some of the best pizza in the world. Anyone stand by that? I hope they see this. I hope they give me a gift card. I don't care. But she's always been like that. And it's like, oh, and then she'd start texting I'm glad you're having fun. Wish I was there. Da-da-da. Like, it doesn't end. And I started thinking about that, like this fear of missing out. And I thought, for me, I'm polar opposite. And my mom, I saw she posted something, so she's watching online, so she verified it. But years back, I'm like 11, 12 years old, and one of my best friends, his name was John Sharp. And we weren't like the richest. They weren't rich. It wasn't like rich people. But for some reason, it's like July 4th kind of weekend, and both my brothers went somewhere with friends, and I'm at the house by myself. And Connie, his mom, literally calls my mom, and I hear my mom say, oh, yes, he's not doing anything. He would love to. And she gets off the phone, and she's like, John just said they're going to their uncle's house on the or going to with their uncle. He had a boat, 3 jet skis, and they're literally like, it'd be the most fun. My mom says, so they're going to pick you up in 30 minutes. I remember, like an 11-year-old kid, I said, I'm not going. And she's like, no, you're going. Like, we don't have money. We need to do fun stuff. Like, you got to go. But I remember her and my dad both getting mad. And I thought about that so much. Like, I wonder, they were like, I think I might have gotten in trouble even. They were so mad. But I didn't. I stood my ground. I didn't go. I'm sitting on the porch like, I don't know, messing with sticks or something. And then I got to think about it. Think about this for a second as a parent. Either one, they had 3 knucklehead sons, and they were so excited probably just to get us away and hope we would never come back. So she's probably sad that I'm still there, you know, just those 2, whatever. But then I got thinking deep down, because I was kind of a weird kid, I think they were back like in the house mad, but also like, do you think he'll be a serial killer, right? Because he didn't want to go jet skiing with his buddies, and he's sitting on the porch like literally like making sculptures with sticks, like a knife. So anyways, the reason I say that, my wife has FOMO. I have FOBO. I have fear of being out, right? Just leave me alone, let me do my thing. So why did I say that? We say here, our purpose is to help you find your purpose. And there's a verse that I've always kind of loved. Jesus said this. He said, John 10:10, the thief knows this. The thief has a purpose. So there's an enemy. He has a purpose. And that's to steal, kill, destroy. It's to steal your peace. His purpose is to kill your joy. His purpose is to destroy all the things for you in life. So it's pretty savage. But look what Jesus said. He said, my purpose is to give them a rich and satisfying life. So over the next 6 weeks in this series, Campfire, we're going to talk about our 6 core values. And our values are all based not on something cool we saw on TV or some other church. Oh, that's good. But we literally just sat down like 3 years ago and said, let's look at the 6 kind of key stories from Jesus that he told. And these stories were Jesus saying, this is what my kingdom's like. Okay, I get how the world works, but this is what my kingdom's like, and I want you to understand my kingdom. So we sat down, kind of picked the 6, and then kind of based off that. So this morning, that's where it goes. This concept of first this week is we are family, and it's don't miss your party. Next week, we're going to talk about how we are servants, and don't miss your people. And then the third week, and the kind of the first of the 3, is we're on mission, and that's don't miss your purpose. And the reason I'm sharing that with you guys, because all these, I don't want you to miss out on something. I don't. You may not have FOMO, and it doesn't matter. That's cool. I don't either. But I don't want you to miss out on a rich and satisfying life that Jesus promises us if we really kind of get this and believe it. That's what I want for all of you here. So to set up the story, and it's my favorite, I probably use it way too much. I probably talk about it too much. I get it. Guilty as charged. But this is, to me, one of the greatest stories where Jesus is going to say, in the religious world of the Jews at that time, it would have been like, okay, we get it. God's really stern. He's really strict. He's got a lot of rules. We got to keep them. Don't sin. Be good. Don't be bad. Be good. Much like probably the Bible Belt, right? That's how it works. And Jesus comes on the scene. He's like, he calls God first, which was so scandalous to them. He literally says, Father, you can't. We all kind of today, like we pray in any church, be like, God the Father. But literally 2,000 years ago, that was unheard of. You would never call God Father. And Jesus is like, no, he's my dad. And he uses a word that even for me as a man is kind of hard to show. It's Abba, which a lot of people will translate not just dad, but literally daddy, right? And it's like, it's weird for me to say that. But that's literally how Jesus is saying, no, you guys don't understand my Father. And it all kind of stemmed from this in Luke 15, verse 1. Before he gets to the story, it says, tax collectors and other notorious sinners often came to listen to Jesus teach. This made the Pharisees and teachers of religious law complain he was associating with such sinful people, even eating with them. Because what do you do in a family, a healthy family, or a somewhat healthy family? What do? You eat together, right? Now, you fight. You don't get along. You have to settle your differences. You work on, my brother took this, you all that stuff. But you eat together. Jesus was eating, and in that culture, it's like, you're treating these people like they're your family. And Jesus is like, they are. Because God's the Father of all of us. You see, this would have been so scandalous at the time. They couldn't stand it. I thought of this, though. If we're not attracting the same kind of people that Jesus is attracting, then maybe we're not preaching the same message that Jesus preached. Think about that for a second. Like, oh, yeah, we're good people, and we're going to act good. And if we're not good, we're going to fake it till we make it. We're going to lie in here. We're not going to say we're jacked up. We're not saying we're struggling. Why? Because that's what you do. You put on the mask. But if we're not reaching the same kind of people that always flock to Jesus, I always have thought to my own self, maybe I'm not saying the stuff Jesus said. Maybe we've somehow taken this message and we've converted it to something else. Why? Because Jesus' dinners were probably off the chain. Could you imagine setting and you're like, this is supposed to be the holy man of God, Jesus, like God in the flesh, God's only son, and he's sitting at a table and you've got, Polly the prostitute here. You got, Les the leper. You've got literally Timmy the tax collector. You've got literally just scoundrels and misfits, right? And it's just like in that culture, you never would do that. And that's why they couldn't stand it. They're like, no, you don't get it. You don't do that, Jesus. They're bad people. We're the good people. And Jesus is like, no, they're family. That's what was important. I bet those dinners are crazy. I can share this. My dinners growing up were crazy as a kid, right? Three boys, 2 brothers. I got to think about this week. I was thinking, my wife and I, we got engaged on Christmas Eve. And I kind of planned it ahead of time, like a month before that. Went with my older brother, got a ring, had this plan of how I was going to do it. So she comes to my house on Christmas Eve. We first went to her house. Her family's amazing. They're legit, so amazing. But we're sitting with her family, and the mom or dad, one of them said, do we want to sing like the doxology or some other song? I don't know if you know the doxology. It was like, praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Amen. It's like, you guys are like, should you be singing on stage? Sure. Yeah, I offer all the time. No. But they're like, look, hold it. They pray. Amazing family, right? And the whole time I'm doing this, it's Christmas Eve. I know we're going to leave there. We're going to go to my mom and dad's house, and I'm freaking out because my family's jacked up, right? So the whole time we're driving, I remember I was kind of quiet, and I'm like, please, Carps, don't screw this up for me, right? Just be on your best behavior. Well, sure enough, we get there. My little brother, Brad, has lost it with my mom. My wife will verify this. They're standing toe-to-toe, losing their mind. And my brother says, he's like, I'm calling off Christmas, and I'm leaving. And my mom was like, fine, you won't get any presents. I don't want any presents. I got to deal with this nonsense. And I'm looking over, and I'm like, you still doing okay? And she's like, maybe. I don't know. Right? Like just completely losing their mind. Lost it. And that was all the holidays. Some of you, you're in good company if that's your holidays. Right? We get, that's probably the jacked up stuff of Jesus. I was thinking, It was like 5 years ago. I'm at a Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, now I'm married and I have kids. I'm a mature adult, I would think. I'm sitting at Thanksgiving dinner in the basement of my grandparents' church. And my older brother, Ryan, looks at me and starts saying, like, how he could whip me and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, you're out of shape. I would mop the floor with you, right? Well, he gets kind of feeling it a little bit, and he doubles down. He's like, no. So we're going back and forth, and the whole time, my little brother's acting, he's getting it going. It's a true story, though. He finally looks at me, and he said this. He said, I'll give you $500 if you can whip me, and I'll let you choke me out for 1 minute. But then after 1 minute, he was like, I literally am going to, like, just destroy you. I'm like, this is the best bet I've ever heard of. 500. So I get up to get behind him, right? And my mom's literally, it's the one time I've seen panic on her face. She was like, please don't do this. I'm like, Mom, it's $500, right? He's out of shape. I'll choke him out in 30 seconds. He'll pass out. I'll get $500. Happy Thanksgiving to all of us, right? And I knew it was serious to her, and she knew it was getting ready to go down because she's like, please don't. And then this is what moms do when they really just don't have any other card to play. I remember she was like, please don't. Like she just dropped her head like she was praying, right? So, okay, we won't, but you owe me $500 because that was straight. Like, it's jacked up. I get it. Jacked up stuff. But that's what Jesus was part of. He was part of probably a lot of nonsense. And to religious people, they're like, I don't like that. I don't like the concept of you saying God is constantly throwing parties for people we don't think deserve it. We just can't fathom that. Mike Yaconelli, he's passed away. He's one of my favorite, great speaker, awesome guy, has a lot of cool stuff he wrote. But I want you to hear this. I thought this is kind of fits along with this. He said, according to his critics, the religious people, Jesus did God all wrong. He went to the wrong places, said the wrong things, and worst of all, let just anyone into the kingdom. Jesus scandalized an intimidating, elitist country club religion by opening membership in the spiritual life to those who had been denied it. What made people furious, though, was Jesus' irresponsible habit of throwing parties to the whosoevers, the just anyones, and the not-a-chancers like you and me. That's a pretty good paragraph, isn't it? Huh? Pretty solid. Yeah, but that's why they hate him, because he did God all wrong. No, we know who God is, but you're doing God all wrong. Because Jesus said, no, my Father is throwing parties. So this morning, kind of quick, I want to give you kind of two sons, the story he tells. And you maybe heard it before, take a different angle. But two sons who had two missed opportunities. Because like I told you, I don't want you to miss out on the life God wants for you. I don't. You know, in all honesty, you can say, Trent, I didn't say this at 9:30, but I want you guys to hear this, okay? I know most of you think I sit in my underwear and watch YouTube videos all day and take naps, okay? But of all the jobs I've had, this is the worst job I've had. Okay, it really is. I love it. I do. I'm thankful. But it's tough. I mean, I get crap all day long. I get messy. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, there's 7. And just for the record, people don't text me in the morning like, just want you to know, proud of you, right? Just want you to know my marriage is better than ever. Just want you to know God's blessed. No, it's always like, she left, I'm leaving, my kids are losing. Like, I get it. It's tough. So why am I here? Why have I done this long? Honestly, what gets me up in the morning? It really is. It's you guys. It's you guys. It's hoping and helping you to see that there's a better way. And there's life. And there's a satisfying and rich life if we just not even do more. Just believe it more. So there's two sons that had two missed opportunities. Right? And I think in life, here's what we'll kind of hit for a few weeks. I think in life, the two big reasons we miss out on the stuff that really matters. We miss out on how much God loves us. We miss out on the people He surrounds us with. We miss out on the purpose He's called us to, is because of being deceived and distracted. Deceived and distracted. Look at the story. It says, to illustrate this point further, Jesus told them this story. A man had two sons. Underline my Bible. Don't forget that, okay? Because we're going to come back. Two what? Two? Okay, good. I won't bore you, but I want you to hear it. Two sons. The younger son told his father, I want my share of your estate now before you die, which was a horrible move, very selfish, can't wait for you to die, don't want to be around you. So the father agreed to divide his wealth between his two sons. Now here's where I think we miss opportunities. The problem isn't that we want too much. I think our problem in life, we are all settling for way less than what we already have. Let me say that again. I don't think the problem is that we want too much. I don't think that's about you hear people, you shouldn't want this. No. I think God's designed us. We want more in life. And the problem is it's not that we want too much. We just settle for way less than what He's already given us. So what are the two? Here it is. First is this, deceived. This is the lie that I can throw better parties. It is. This is the lie. Some of you in this room, you literally believe this. You're like, you know what? It's not that I'm against God. It's just I don't want to live that life. And sadly, it's because you've watched many of us and you're like, I don't want your life. It's miserable. But it's like, that's not the life Jesus called us to. We've been deceived and thought, if I do it my way, it will be better. The younger son takes his money, says he went off, he had women, wild parties, he's living it up. Money runs out, as you know the story. Then he's like, okay, I'm hungry, I don't have food, my friends have left me. Then he goes and works for somebody. He's literally looking at the pig food, like, I wish I could eat the pig food. And it hits him, man, I got it better back home. I mean, I know my family's probably written me off, but I've got it better. And I want you to hear this, because here's the thing I think I get. It's like, oh, Trent, you're all grace, God's love, blah, blah, blah. But that's not how it works. Let me say this to you, okay? I believe this full everything inside of me. Don't confuse condemnation, which comes from God, literally with literally the condemnation that he's against us, that he's not for us, with consequences. Because here's the bottom line. This kid, fully loved by God, fully loved by the Father. But did he have consequences? Horizontal? Yes, he did. My two kids, maybe watching online, maybe not. But my daughter is at U-Pike, and she comes home every few weeks. My son's at KCU. He's there after the game yesterday. If I go to his football game, I get to see him for a few hours, right? Maybe 15 minutes after, say hi to him. My daughter, when she comes home every few weeks, some of you parents with young kids are already crying a little bit like, oh, yeah, this is the world, right? I see them maybe every few weeks. Here's my point. I don't know what they're doing 99% of the time. I don't know. My kids right now, at this very moment, can spend this whole week. They can skip class every day. They can party like an animal every night. They can sleep around. They can have what they think is they can do all that. And if you come to me and say, you know, you're spending your money, do you know they've been lying to you? Are you going to write them off? No, they're my kids. My love doesn't change. But is there consequences? Yes. There is. If they don't go to class, they'll probably fail out. They'll probably lose their scholarships. Don't go to practice, lose your scholarship, right? Fair enough. I might find out I'm a grandparent earlier than I want to be, right? There's consequences. I could sit down and tell you guys for hours the consequences I've faced from my dumb decisions. Some of them I'm still dealing with. I'm not telling you there's no consequences, but in the story, the younger son had consequences because he thought his party would be better. But there's not condemnation from God. Don't confuse those. Don't confuse those, because even though other people may walk away from me, doesn't mean God walks away from me. Even though people that used to love me don't love me anymore, doesn't mean that God doesn't love you. So here's his plan. He said, I'll go home to my father and say, Father, I've sinned against both heaven and you. I'm no longer worthy being called your son, underlined. Please take me on as a hired servant. Did you catch that? Look, I know I'm not your son anymore. Could I just be your slave? Could I just be a servant? Could you just hire me as kind of a higher-ranking servant? The father runs and meets him and kisses him and says, kill the fat calf, we're throwing a party. And here's what the younger brother didn't get. He didn't break his father's rules. He broke his father's heart, because he's loved him the same the whole time. The whole time. So deceived means, no, let me do it my way. And here's what I'd say to all of you in this room. Do it your way. Okay, come, talk to me, do it your way. But I promise you, because I've been doing this for a long time, 20 plus years, you keep doing it your way, and at some point you're going to look up and say, I missed out. I missed out on being the dad that I really could have been. I missed out on being the husband or the wife or the parent. I missed out on being the person I could have been. Why? Because you believed you could throw a better party. You believe you could do it better. And I'm just telling you guys, it doesn't work that way. I care too much about you to let you see it. Second one, though, distracted. Believing that I deserve better parties. The older brother here, he was watching Instagram, just loving the fall of his brother, right? Is he homeless? Is he dead? Like, he's so happy because he's finally getting what he deserves. And we all like justice, don't we? I mean, let's be honest. We watch those shows here, watch like CSI, whatever. Like, I love he gets caught. You love like justice. Make them pay. They've hurt people, right? We want to compare. And that's the quickest way to kill. Comparison is the quickest way to kill celebration, and it will kill you. That's why some of you in this room are so literally worn out, because you're constantly like, well, why did they get this? Well, they have this. Why, God, why aren't you giving this to me? God, I just want to be married. Then you talk to people who are married, they're like, I just wish I wasn't married, right? I just wish I could have kids. Talk to someone who has 8 kids, like, you can have 2 of them. We'll give them to you, right? We're always looking and deserving more. That's why we're worn out. Look what it says the older brother, verse 28. It says, the older brother was angry and wouldn't go in. His father came out and begged him. But he replied, all these years I've slaved for you and never once refused to do a single thing that you told me to do. Now, did you catch both brothers? Both of them used the word servant, slave. Now, let's go back, because that's why I want you to say it loud. Remember what I said? Very beginning, Jesus said the father had 2. You notice how both of them say, no, we're not sons. We're servants. We're slaves. See, that's what I think religion does. Some people miss the party with rebellion, but others miss it with religion. So, what's that mean for us? Here's what I would say for you guys, and I hope you get this. Let's just level the playing field, okay? Let's just all be honest for just a second, and I'll get you out of here so you can still have your lunch. Everything in your life is conditional. Everything. Everything. What do I mean by that? Everything in your life is based on some level of what you put into it, is what you get out. Doesn't always work that way, but it is, and I can prove that. You know as well as I do, at work, I do a good job. People promote me. Think about the older brother here. He's like, no, this isn't fair because, Dad, I've got a ton of people working under me from you. And when they work well, guess what? I give them a raise. I promote them. When they don't show up, you know what I do? I fire them. Your younger brother, not even my brother, your younger son literally needs fired. It's conditional. We live in a conditional world. Literally for me, I was thinking about this. I love this place. I really do. I have like a board of elders that oversee me, and they can fire me. They can do a lot of stuff. But I want you to imagine this next week. I'm not coming in. I'm just tired. I don't want to. So Aaron and Alicia text, and they're like, hey, Trent hasn't been in the office all week. So one of them calls me. Chuck calls me, and he's like, hey, what's going on? I just didn't want to come in. You doing okay? Yeah, she didn't want to come in. Okay, that's fine. But see you Monday. I'm not coming back next week. What? I may not come back for a while. Actually, I may not come back for a few months. Well, when are you coming back? I don't know. I'll tell you when I feel like it. You know what's going to happen? He's going to get off the phone. He's going to call the rest of them. Then they're going to call me back and say, you're fired, right? You got to show up. You got to show up. There's stuff you are required to. It's conditional. I think other than maybe my mom, my wife loves me more than anybody in the world. I believe that. Unconditional. We'll prove it. Tonight when we get home, we're going to sit on the couch about 7 o'clock after we've done all of our nonsense. Like, I don't know why I said all of our nonsense. This is a very weird word to use. Anyways, we've ate, okay, just done normal stuff. Anyways, sitting on the couch. But here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, Jonda, that's her name. I know you love me more than the world itself. I'm going to cheat on you for 5 weeks. Right? But when I come back, like, she's going to say, I don't love you that much. Even her love is conditional. And here's why I want you to hear this. Everything in your life, the people that love you even, is conditional, except for God. His love is unconditional. That means, unconditional means no conditions. See, we can't fathom that because nothing in our life works that way. I love what Martin Luther said. He literally said, the reason I tell myself the good news every day is because I forget it every day. Because there's conditions all around me. And he said to his church, he said, the reason I preach the good news to you every week is because you forget the good news every week. Because we're surrounded by conditions. The older brother loved conditions. So what happens? We get deceived, we get distracted, and the last is simply delighted. The father keeps throwing parties. He ran toward the rebel. He walked out to the resentful. He's always literally coming out for those who are missing out. That's who Jesus wanted us to know the Father is. His father said to him, look, dear son, you've always stayed by me, and everything I have is yours. What do you want? I'll give it all to you. It's yours. We had to celebrate this happy day for your brother was dead. Did you catch, dear son, your brother, which means he's part of our family? The older brother's like, he's not my brother. Might be your son, he's not my brother. But he calls him son too. The father had 2 sons, but they both thought they were supposed to be servants to the father. He said he's come back to life. He was lost, but now he is found. I thought about this. The only thing worse than missing a party is realizing literally it was planned for you. Now, I thought this may not fit for you guys. I have a nephew through marriage, so it would be on my wife's side. and his name's Naaman. And here's what I thought was funny. So his birthday, this is in honor of him. His birthday, this was posted a few days ago, but it's actually the 19th today, okay? But she said this. She said, no one gets more excited about birthdays in our family than him. And this is the first paragraph, just this part, it's the part I'll read. He's the only person I know that's been sad that he didn't get a surprise birthday party while he was at his own surprise birthday party opening presents because we surprised him so much he didn't realize the party was for him, okay? Now, some of you laugh, but you didn't laugh because you don't get it, right? Like, that doesn't make sense. Look at that guy. Does he look like he could be tricked easy? All right, yeah, exactly, yeah. I actually really like Naaman. And he also has 30 brothers and sisters, so they probably just have joint parties all the time. But here's what I thought. Think about that. He is literally opening presents at his birthday party, sad because he just wanted a surprise birthday party. He didn't realize it was for him. I think for some of us, if you really get the picture of God, you realize, no, he's throwing a party for you. Oh, I know. No, not them, you. You, this morning, I'm talking to you. He throws parties constantly for you because he loves you that much. So what I want to do this morning is a little different as we get out of here, okay? And just a little crazy. I'm going to give you a moment just to do this. If you look under chairs in front of you, behind you, somewhere, there is a little cup, okay? Go ahead and get it. I'll just randomly, you guys don't listen to me anyway, so might as well just do something productive, right? Why don't you grab one? If you got to get around, find one you can. Just grab one of these. I want you to have it this morning. Because here's why. This is what I thought about. The father throws a huge party. Why? Because here's what the younger son thought. Okay, I've been too bad. I don't need to go in. And the father's like, no, I'll throw a party for you every day. But here's the second part. The older son was like, I don't think other people deserve to be at your table. And he says, no, I don't want you guys serving me. I want you guys just to eat with me. See, the whole time, both of these sons were thinking what they could offer the father. And the whole time the father was saying, you know what I want? Not do more, be better. I just want you. So this morning, we're going to do something we've never really done on a Sunday morning. And you can open it up. They're kind of tricky to open. Go ahead. But I'm going to close today with us just, I know there's no table here, but I want you guys to get a picture. A lot of different faith communities would call this communion. But I want to give you guys a picture of the fact that you are invited to eat with God today. Not just eat, but literally, he throws the party for you. Here's the truth, though. Both sons almost missed it. And I don't know where you're at today. One thought he didn't deserve to be there. The other thought he didn't need to be there. So for you today, I'm going to challenge you to simply hear the Father say, I just want my kids at my table. So this morning, I want you to be reminded of a God that keeps throwing parties for you. So here's what we're going to do. If you open up the top, it is not bread, by the way. It's a piece of plastic. It tastes like it too. Just warning you ahead of time. It's miserable. Okay. Sorry, C3's on budget cuts. So we had to do what we had to do. Jesus was sitting at a table, surprise, surprise, with his followers, who are family. And right before he would end up dying, he sat down with them and he said, I'm going to do something because I want you guys to remember our table. I want you guys to always remember that the Father's constantly wanting to invite us to sit with him. Did you catch that? No. Sit with me. I just want you with me. You're loved that much. And this is what it says. It says, while they were eating, he took the bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and said, this is my body given for you. Do this as you remember me. And they ate. Hopefully better bread than them. And if you want to take and pop it open, I was struggling with the other one. It says, then after supper, he took the cup, saying, this cup is the new covenant in my blood poured out for you. Let's drink and be reminded of God's good grace. Non-alcoholic grape juice. Some of you are disappointed. Here's what I want you to feel today as you walk out of here, okay? I say it every week. If you're hearing me say, do more, get better, get right, I haven't done my job. Because the good news this morning is he's already done it for you. Now live in that. Live in that. Some of you could stand up right now and we could tell stories of when you said, I'm trying to do it my way, and you screwed up a lot of stuff. And today, the Father's simply inviting you, saying, no, come be with me. Some of you here, you're very judgmental and you're hurt because other people have hurt you. And I can't forgive, I can't let it go. And the Father's going to say to you this morning, he's like, no, but remember, as I've forgiven you, forgive them. I want you to live a rich and satisfying life. So this morning, as we get ready to pray, I pray if nothing else, you would know this. The Father will keep throwing parties for you, whether you think you deserve it or not. The Father will keep inviting you back to come sit with Him because He loves you that much. Maybe you don't think you deserve it. Maybe you don't think you need it. But both are lies. So this morning, here's what I'd like to do. If you would just close your eyes for a second, we're going to pray. Father, I thank you so much, this group of people. So grateful, people here, people watching online. And God, I pray that we would be reminded of this amazing good news. God, we know we are family because we're all your children. God, I pray for the person in this room right now who's struggling with, could be so many different issues. Maybe it's a confidence issue. Maybe it's feeling like they just don't measure up. Maybe they're not the kid they should be. Maybe they're not the parent they think they should be. Maybe they're not the spouse they should be. And I want you to give them the good news today and remind them they are enough in you. Now live in that. Now breathe and enjoy it. Father, I pray for some people here who are just struggling because they don't feel like they're worth it. And you say, you want to know how expensive you are? I gave my one and only Son so you could have life. God, there's also some people in here who are saying, but they don't deserve it. It's not fair. God, we can't live in a world where no one gets punished. It'll be chaos. And our Father says, no. All of it gets punished. But it's going to get punished by my Son. He's the one who makes all wrongs right. God, I pray we could be reminded of these truths and this good news. Now help us to, as we leave this place, to remember the people that we work with, our family, people we meet in the counter, at the grocery store, our family. People in this room, we're family because we're all your children made in your image. Let us love others as we've been loved. We ask this in your name. Amen. Guys, hope you have an amazing week. Love to see you back next week for C3 Central. Take care.
Seems to me that I'm alive again.